Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to Coffee Mag. It's me, Carlie, and we're joined with Elizeta, my beautiful co-host.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay.
Amazing. So today we're going to talk about depression. Depression affects people of all different ages, and I think we're just going to have a general discussion while trying to also inform you. Just a reminder of our disclaimer.
Yep, so we want to say that we're non-medical professionals and the knowledge that we're sharing is based on experience and research. The purpose of our podcast is to purely educate others and ourselves. Please talk with a medical professional or someone close to you for diagnosis and help. Now we can start our discussion about depression. All right. So, according to the Mental Health First Aid of England, depression is one of the leading causes of disability worldwide and a major contributor to suicide and coronary heart disease. World Health Organization reports that 264 million people are affected by depression worldwide, and women are more prone to depression than men. But what is depression? Most people know what it is, but according to the American Psychiatric Clinic, depression, or major depressive disorder, is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. There are different types of depression. Carlie, would you like to tell us about them?
Yeah, of course, no problem. So we have major depression. So you may hear your doctor call this major depression, and you might have this if you feel depressed most of the time, but most days a week. Then there's persistent depressive disorder. If you have depression that lasts more than 2 years or longer, this is called a persistent disorder as it doesn't go away. Then we have manic depression. So that's someone who experiences ranges of extreme high energy, which is up mood, or depressive periods of low mood. Or seasonal affective disorder, which is also known as SAD. This is a period of major depressive disorder, which often happens during the winter months or when the sun is lower in the sky, so predominantly it's darker. And then we've also got psychotic depression, which is when people experience psychotic symptoms such as hallucinations, delusions, or paranoia. There's also prepartum or postpartum depression, which is where women have major depression in weeks or months after their childbirth. There's also premenstrual dysphoric disorder, which is where cis women, transgender men, and non-binary people have depression and symptoms at the start of their period. Situational depression isn't technically a term in psychiatry, but it's also where you have depressive moods when trying to cope with a troubling situation. And then lastly, we've got atypical depression, which is the type which is persistent with sadness, a type of depression which happens when patterns occur.
Yeah. So, as you can understand, there are many different reasons why someone could be suffering from depression. It might be because of a major life changes or events, trauma, stress, certain physical illnesses, maybe medication, but it can even be inherited from the family, from your parents. Helpline reports that scientists believe that as many as 40% of those with depression can trace it back to genetic link. Environmental and other factors make up the other 60%. Research has also shown that people with parents or siblings who have depression are up to 3 times more likely to have the condition. Depression can affect the individual in many different ways. Their variety of symptoms can range from mild, moderate, and severe, some of which are feeling upset, sad and down, losing interest in hobbies or activities, loss or change in appetite and weight changes, change in sleeping patterns and sleeping habits, moving without a purpose or talking and moving really slowly, feeling empty, worthless, guilty, or numb, feeling isolated and alone, struggling to think, make decisions, or concentrating, low or no self-esteem, self-confidence, self-harm, or suicidal thoughts. The treatment varies and it really depends on the individual, but if you're suffering with depression, you can call the emergency lines that we're going to add on the description of this episode, on our website, and social media, but you can also talk with a psychologist or psychiatrist or generally a medical professional to get diagnosis. As we have said before, we're not professionals, and everything that we share is from our own research and experience. Depression is one of the most treatable mental disorders, with almost 90% of the affected people recovering. Before being diagnosed and before being treated, the medical professional should do a thorough testing, which includes physical examination and an interview. Blood tests could also be part of the examination, as there are cases in which the patient is suffering from depression due to another medical condition, such as thyroid problems or vitamin deficiency. The treatment could be taking antidepressants for a period of time which your doctor has given you, psychotherapy or talk therapy, which helps with mild depression, or lastly, electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, which is a medical treatment used for patients with major depression. This treatment is only used when the person suffering from depression hasn't responded to previous treatments. However, we understand that depression is a really, really difficult topic, and it's something that might trigger someone, but we are here to give you hope and to tell you that there are ways to improve your mental well-being.
So there is evidence that exercise can help depression. It's one of your main treatments for mild depression, and you can be referred to things like group exercise classes and just for things like let's go walking or let's go swimming. So just nice little activities. There's also self-help. So self-help has become massive in the last couple of years. So it's about talking about your feelings. It's about talking to a close friend or a relative, or even asking your GP for local psychological therapies. But self-help can even now come in forms of applications and things on your phone just to scroll through. Like there's this app called Calm. So you can go on that, and like you've got cute little pictures of little people, and you can just use that. And there's even one called a terrarium, which is used in a lot of different mental health websites. So people just encourage you to build a plant, like a plant farm. So you're literally just got aloe vera plants or little flowers.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
Yes, very cute. So people please just try and take your mind off things, even temporarily. That can be such a relief. Actually, speaking about reliefs, I in the past have struggled with depression myself. And I really do think that having some sort of exercise regime in your life, like I absolutely adore swimming. So I swim as regularly and as possible, like whenever I can, I go swimming. Some people hate swimming, and that's fine. Even just being outside or doing something which encourages you to think about other things, like, oh, going for a walk. Oh, I'm thinking about how sore my feet are. Or go swimming. Or I'm thinking about I need to breathe when I'm in this pool. Just little things like that, it really can help. Depression, as someone who's like been in a state of depression, I feel like it is really, really important to try and talk. I did what everyone does, really. I just shut myself off, and I just thought, oh, I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm not going to worry anybody with my problems. And then actually thinking about it now, as someone who's come out of this state, I feel like actually it's really, really important to talk about it, or at least just acknowledge it. You could even write it down. Keep a diary, or keep a protected diary on your phone, or just go up a mountain and scream. Just do whatever you need, or even just run to us. Literally, give us a message on one of our social medias and just be like, girls, I'm having the worst time. And I'll be like, okay, thanks for reaching out. Or even just have a scream in the chat, just spam a load of buttons and just be like, here we are, I needed this.
Yeah.
I will respect that 100%.
Send us a voice message of you screaming. We're appreciating it.
We'll scream back if you want.
Yeah.
Like if you want someone to be like, we can do that.
That is a great way to deal with depression. And I've had therapy for depression in the past, and it is not an easy journey. It is not something that you can just get over.
Definitely not. It's not a switch. You can't just be like, oh, I'm waking up today and I'm not going to be depressed.
Yeah.
If it was easy as that, nobody would have it.
Exactly. And I really relate to what you said, that closing yourself off and not talking with anyone and being like, oh, I'm not going to bother anyone with my problems because, I feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
I really relate to that. During the first lockdown, March 2020, I experienced like a form of depression that I had never experienced before. And I had like really severe depression while I was in high school. And now when I was in the first lockdown, I had like, I don't know, it was like I met an Elizeta that I've never met before. But I really admired the way that by myself I managed to get out of it. So I started as you said, keeping record of my mental being every day. So I will be like, oh, today I woke up and I felt like that. And then what really helped me is I started building onto that. So I started trying different things that would make me feel better every day. So whether that being stretching, yoga, Pilates, or I don't know why I said Pilates like that, but you know what I mean. Cardio exercises.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, one of my favorite things to do was like I was watching videos of foxes in a farm somewhere in the US. I don't remember which state. It made my day, you know? And I started building on that and working out every day. I started reading books. Like I used to read books, but I never had time. And it was a great chance to, whenever I woke up, I would just like read a chapter.
A few pages.
Yeah, exactly. I would write down how I feel. And then as time passed, this is like something that became part of me. It wasn't something that I had to do, something that I wanted to do. I didn't force myself to do it. I willingly wanted to be better and feel better. So I really
do think that's brilliant. But then I also think we need to also reflect on the idea of some people are actually okay with being depressed. Some people are sitting in the house thinking, oh, I'm really unhappy, but I can't think of anything worse than going out and doing things. I can't think of anything worse than actually trying to get better or go back to work or go to school, go to college. I feel that acknowledging that it's okay to feel like that and it's okay to not want to reach out.
When I was talking with my housemate, she said something that I kind of didn't know it was possible, but it actually is. Sadness can be addictive sometimes.
100%. If you convince yourself you're going to wake up sad every day, you might wake up and you actually might look at the sky and think, actually, this is fine. But you've convinced yourself you're sad. Oh, you're really depressed. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But also, I think the first step to getting better is going, I can be better and I can do this. Because I feel like if you never ever convince yourself of that, or maybe not even that, if you just convince yourself that you do need help or you can get help, I think just going past that first hurdle is something that's really going to help.
There are so many ways to improve the situation that you're in, but you need to want to improve your situation. And it's really hard to decide that you want to change. It's difficult. It's a struggle and it hurts. It really, really hurts because you really need to motivate your whole soul and heart to actually... I need to get through this. I need to get out of the situation. I need to win this because this is a battle that you fight every day.
Yeah, but you can beat it.
You can, yeah. You can. You got this. And my personal tip for anybody listening, one thing that I like to do is I write down not my feelings every day. I'm a really task-oriented person. So I always... my activities and my responsibilities are the ones that mostly bring me down. So I sit down and I write, okay, I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to wake up and do this. But one thing that I really enjoy, and I started building on that, it might sound childish, but this is my way of coping, is that I write everything that I do. And I put a little box on the side and I take it. So I write down, I brushed my teeth. I did my makeup. I made myself coffee. I did some yoga in the morning. I meditated. I studied this book. I studied 5 pages and I just take it. And it makes me feel so fulfilled. And one thing that I read is that it's really important when you're doing a list, you need to tick it and not X it. So when you finish something, it's better. It's more positive and it's much better to the eye to add a tick. Instead of Xing it or erasing it, because it's I think it removes value out of it. So if you do tick, it's positive.
I think that's really interesting because I'm such a list person as well, and I constantly make lists, but I cross everything out. So actually, and sometimes if I'm using a thicker marker or something, I can't even see what I've accomplished that day.
Yeah, so add a tick.
I love that.
It's positive.
Yeah, guys, we were going to get back to you on how my tick effort goes.
Yes, of course. What is your tip for anyone
I feel
struggling?
my tip is to look out a window. I feel if you're sat there and you can just look out the window and point out one beautiful thing, even if it's a bird in the sky or a random leaf that's stuck to your window. Or I know some people can find this really freaky, or if there's just a spider hanging down, just point out one beautiful thing, literally anything. And I just think the moment you see something that's beautiful, the moment you can see beauty in something that might not be there, you're already one step ahead.
That is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And on that, even before you go to bed, just think of 3 things that you're grateful for. Don't write it down. Just maybe say it out loud. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for the food that I had. I'm grateful for the oxygen that I'm breathing. I literally did it last night, and I was not feeling my best. And I sat down. It was like 2:00 in the morning, and I was like, what are 3 things that I'm grateful for? And I immediately started smiling. I swear to God, I was like sitting there and I was like, I'm grateful for my friends. And I was like, I smiled automatically. Like my brain did that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think that it didn't work, but it does.
Yeah. I think I'm going to post them on social media later.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll make a tip page on our website. Let us know what you think. Just little things that we've sort of come up with that might help or that help us, that might help other people. Because I feel like that's our role. We want to try and help, and we want to try and inform you to the best of our ability. So yeah, I think that would be quite nice.
Yeah, just check our social media. Reach out if you want to share anything. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and you can find us individually if you want to reach out. And yeah, just share anything that you want to share. And we'll have link to helplines that you can call, you can text, you can email or text or anything. And we're here for you. We support you. We love you.
Thank you, guys. We can't wait to speak to you soon.
Talk to you next week. Bye.